Peace, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Random Thoughts. I am your host. The LYR to the ICS is lyrics, y'all. Yo, we here? Not really so much a beautiful Sunday because it's raining outside here in New York City, but hey, we getting through it, man. You already know how that goes. All right, Steph, what's going on? I got you. What's good, man? Team Homie, what's good? It's in the building. I see you. You know what I mean?
It's Steph, yo.
Yay! What's going on, Steph?
Chilling, having some popcorn shrimp.
It's Stephanie Gale, y'all having popcorn motherfucking shrimp. Like,
loving that biscuit from Popeyes.
Man, fuck them biscuits from Popeyes. Hard ass biscuits, man. Like, yo, son.
These are hard.
Like,
these are hard.
Nah, let me tell you something, man. Yeah, all right. Yo, what's good, Ab?
Peace and love, y'all. ADV in the spot. It's your boy Abbas. What's good?
Yeah, you gotta say that shit with a little bit more energy, my nigga.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like, yo,
I don't need to. I say how I want to end up saying.
Yeah.
That's my voice, bro.
It's rough.
Yeah,
don't give him too much flack. It's rough over there in California right now.
It's ADV. Ab is in the building. Right.
Nah, Sacramento just had a shooting.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Like six people killed. Crazy, man.
Man, yo, this world is crazy, man. Like,
yeah.
Yo, let's see if Ramos want to join me. Right?
No.
Let's see if Ramos want to join. I sent him the invite with lying motherfucker. Look at
There you go.
Ta-da!
Ramos.
Told you, man.
Ramos.
That's how I roll.
With his lying ass. Like,
who's a lying ass? Hey, what did I lie about?
No, you know exactly what the fuck you was lying about, B. Like, you was like, nah, I don't know about this episode and all that bullshit. But here you are.
Okay.
I think we need
next album or something.
Okay.
That's what you're
What?
practicing for.
What you
Next
say?
time you need to slow pan down, Eric. That's what you need. You need to slow pan down. You need an organ playing in the back.
I fucked up my camera now.
Hey, yo, Kimberly, what's going on? We see you, Kimberly. All right. Oh, wow.
Steph, your idea. Nope, it did not work.
Yo, you know, this is Random Thoughts, so we do dumb shit like this all the fucking time. Like, niggas be dropping cameras, all types of stupid shit, man. Like, yo. But yo, Abbas, you ready? You ready, mom? You ready, my man?
Oh, it don't matter at this point. Oh yeah, and Kim is here, so this would be perfect too for Kim to chime in as well if she can.
Hey, Kimberly, it's great that you here because we're about to let the fuckery commence.
Hey.
Your thing just broke or something?
Yeah, the little thing that keeps on it. Fuck it.
Hey, yo, Ad,
dang.
you wanna bring us into it, man? You wanna introduce what today's episode's about?
So today's episode that we are getting into for Random Thoughts is we're going to be looking at the differences and the commonalities between the African diaspora.
Basically, the differences and commonalities in the African in the Black diaspora. That's how we've been promoting it. But fuck it, the African diaspora.
It's the African diaspora. Because you don't necessarily have to be Black. You just have to be a descendant of Africa. Like your lineage has to connect to Africa.
Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean? And Kimberly, we're gonna try to let you in. You know what I'm saying? See if you want to say something. Anybody from Africa, South Africa, any Black people, you know what I'm saying? You want to come in and say some shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Kimberly said. She laughed. She was like, she was laughing and shit.
Fam. No, I can't.
No, because right now, today is the day that we show favoritism. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's my favorite word, guys. Favoritism. You know what I mean? So that's the fun. Sue, what's going on? Yo, what's going on, everybody? So, yo, Ad, I'm gonna step back. I'm gonna let you do your thing, man. You know what I mean?
All right, for sure.
Yes, sir.
So when thinking of this topic, of course, as we usually do, we get in our groups together and think about it.
What's up, True?
The main things that
Notes.
at least came to my head when thinking of speaking on the African diaspora and these differences and commonalities, a few things came to my head. One, to talk about the different political ties, to think about also the mental, the spiritual, the physical, the economic, as well as the language and culture. So we'll toss all of that up all together as we go. But for those who don't know, when we're talking about the African diaspora, that ranges all over the place. So examples of that could be, of course, United States. We got Brazil, Haiti, France, Colombia, Saudi Arabia, Italy, Venezuela, Pakistan, Russia, and
Sicily.
There's many more. Sicily, there's so many more. You can speak of. Cuba is another one as well. And here,
Pretty much
we're
all of
just
Latin
exploring
America.
that. Yes. So we're here wanting to dive in and explain to that. So I'm gonna ask again to all of us that's on here too. And I know Eric may be like, all right, I don't know for sure anything in that particular case, but at least just a bit of a background. So to y'all, when you've heard the word African diaspora, what came to mind?
Honestly, like when I first heard about it, I didn't know what to think about it. Like the only time I heard about African diaspora was on YouTube. Shout out to Philip Scott. I always shout out, Uncle Phil. Not from the Fresh Prince, but Uncle Phil from the African Diaspora Network, which is on YouTube. I subscribe to them, on YouTube, and honestly, I thought the African diaspora had something to do with just like Black people news, you know what I'm saying? But after I did my own, research, which was today, yeah, like earlier this morning, this afternoon, I did some research and shit, and I found out what the African diaspora was really about. I ain't feel like a fucking idiot. I just was like, oh, all right, cool, that's what's up. Like, yo, it made me feel more proud to be Black. Like, I'll be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? And like, yo, I can't wait till we really get into the meat of things and really get, like, you know what I'm saying? Like see how everybody else feels about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the differences and the commonalities within the diaspora and stuff of that nature. I really can't wait for this conversation, to really pop off. And hey, this is what Random Thoughts is about. It's more than just the fuckery and the foolishness. We here to teach, you know what I'm saying? And
we're here to bring people together.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And we also here to do certain racial jokes too. You know what I'm saying? Because we all need laughter in our lives, man. We need to stop being super sensitive towards shit. Like, by the way, shout out to Chris Rock, shout out to Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we rub shit in people's faces too, so just want to do that. Yeah, I thought about it stuff, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm rubbing it in these niggas' face." You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I was gonna try to start some shit with that, but I said, niggas probably sick and tired of that. Niggas probably sick and tired of that shit, big. Yeah, Steph be going in too, for real. Steph be going in, but.
Oh yeah,
Eric, you in your sound right now.
What's up?
You sounding like Darth Vader over there.
It's that bad?
It sounds like you have a fish
I can't
in
put
your house.
Oh, I was pouring water. See? No, but the problem is that I can't flip this phone over because the plug for the head jack is the plug. So I had to put my other headphones on.
And them things is like a condenser mic. They be picking up everything.
That's a fact.
Can I put it sideways? That's nice.
But okay, going into getting back to it, Steph. So, what were, or at least
I know Kimberly.
When you first heard about the African diaspora, what were your first thoughts?
I mean, coming from the background that I come from. By the way, I'm wearing, my Black Liberation Project, Black Freedom Project. I'm sorry. And it says on the back, if it ain't about Black liberation, it ain't about me. So I'm black today.
black and a motherfucker. Oh, sorry.
Because and I wear this shirt because I mean that's what makes me think of. That's what I think about when I think of the diaspora, the African diaspora. When you think of that word, it has so much power and so much meaning and so much depth to it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't just equate to us, us melanated folks here.
Yeah.
Including you, Eric. You are quite melanated too. But
oh, I thought it was a pale corpse.
I think about us, and I also think of, we played Public Enemy in our commercial.
Yeah.
In our promo leading up to this, and it makes me think of the album and the
Fear of a Black Planet.
But it also makes me think of it takes millions to hold us back.
It takes a nation of millions to hold us back.
Yes, it takes. I had a brain fart for a second, but it takes a nation of millions to hold us back, and I just think about the power of us as a diaspora. If we actually all came together, if we all realized that we come from one common place.
Yeah.
Now I'm talking about the entire Latin world, even China, the Asian, China in particular. Like you look at some folks from China, they have very African features.
Yeah.
You can see their noses are wide. You can see some of them have complexion to them. So I think if we all realized our potential power and we actually came together as one, we can cause a lot of problems. We can do a lot of damage in this world. We can make some definite changes, great changes, working together. So, when I think about the diaspora, that's what I think about.
Official Joe 876 is good. You know what I'm saying? My boy Joe, he up in here, man. Like, so I just happened to see him yesterday. I was like, yo, come follow us, man. I see you popped up, man. Good looking for the love, B. You know what I mean? American Most Experienced Mystic. What's going on? Everybody who just joined in, man. Like, what's going on, man? I'm sorry about that stuff. My fault.
No, I was done.
Good. I asked the same thing to you, Eric. I mean, either, of course, with your feelings, whether if you feel you are and you aren't, but first, what's your thoughts?
Well, let me clarify with the position because people are saying certain things. The issue was not specifically this one; it was specifically for other ones. So I do consider myself to be part of the African, but it was just like where should I stand? But like when I think of that, I think about first of all culture because culture overall. We're talking about food. We're talking about music. We're talking about forms of expression. We're talking about art. Like all that is very much. There's a line that goes all through that like resonates with all within what's called the diaspora. Yes. And I totally I believe I am part of it. I have culturally, racially, like my lineage. Even though there's multiple other things in there, there is aspects of that as well. And I should be proud of that and uphold that like that line. To see where I come from and say, that's part of me, and I should be proud of that. Even though people might not see it like that, other people, but that's their problem. Yeah. But so when I think of that, like I said, I think of culture overall. Like lineage of culture, like something that resonates and still continues to continues on today. Oh,
yes.
Steph, somebody was shouting you out in the comments.
Hey, what's
America's top America.
That Mystic was shouting you out.
Hey, what's going on, Mystic?
Yeah. Anything else you got to that, Eric, or that was it?
That's it. Okay. I'm done.
I mean, with all saying that too, and back to Steph's point before moving further, there is a doctor within at least the community that has books on all the different African empires in all different areas of the Americas. So I wanted to shout out Dr. Clyde Winters. So his books is all over the place, and he's documented again Aboriginal folks in South America, whether that's the Olmecs and more other folks. Again, y'all can go look up these folks and all these names and things of what I'm saying later. You don't have to be so confused about it now, as well as being again in ancient China, ancient Europe, all over the place. He's actually documented and have these in different books. I have a few of them. I don't have all of them, but I just wanted to put that out there. If you wanted to say, okay, what about all these other different places? And there it is in those books. Now, for those who's asking, I know we already talking about, we already know like what the, or we're asking about our first times of hearing the Black diaspora. But for some folks, they're like, okay, what the heck is a diaspora? Maybe they don't even know what that ends up being. That might be their first time seeing a word. So I'm gonna give a short definition, and then after that, again, we'll continue from there and get into some of the pieces of specifically. I talked about the subtopics. So for those who don't know what the diaspora is, the African diaspora is the worldwide collection of communities descendant from native Africans or people from Africa, predominantly in the Americas. The term was mostly used for descendants from West and Central Africans who were, again, enslaved and brought via the transatlantic slave trade. But the largest populations they also have around there is the US, Brazil, and Haiti. But that's the small aspect of it. Basically, a group of Africans, descendants, dispersed all over the world. That's basically the diaspora.
Yeah, yo, shout out to like all of them, man. Shout out to the Brazilian motherfuckers, Haitian motherfuckers, anybody else in South America, motherfuckers, American motherfuckers.
Shout out to your God.
Yeah, the 5% nation, man. Gods and Earths.
I thought we were going.
The Muslim, the what?
What?
You sound like you're underwater again.
The Islamic religion, all that, man. Like, Islam, all that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody Africa, all parts of Africa, Cabo Verdes, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole diaspora, you know what I'm saying? Like, this episode is for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. If I sound ignorant, I'm into, because that's me. So let's get to it.
All right. So again, and y'all can also chime in if y'all have questions or things that pop up in the comments, or any of y'all over here, y'all already know. But the first thing I wanted to talk about when talking about the differences and commonalities in the diaspora is I wanted to talk about the physical traits, or at least like the physical aspect. Mm-hmm. So especially, we already know in the US, like if you get pulled over or any other point you get yourself in a certain situation, the cops and other people are going to look at you as Black. But what are your thoughts on at least the physical when it comes to at least being here in the US versus dispersed out in different areas of the world?
To be honest with you, like it's kind of like similar, but it is different. I see what goes on, especially after watching City of God. I really pay more attention to what goes on in other aspects of the world than America. You know what I'm saying? America, I think and this is not, Luminous, what's going on?
What's up, Stu?
I'm gonna be honest with you. America, we kind of got it little more lightly than other places, because I see videos from, I remember one time in France, I seen a video in France of an African French woman, you know what I'm saying, getting held up by the French police at an airport, and the way how the cops was literally beating and holding this lady, man. I mean, literally threw her down on the ground, put her in cuffs, looked like they smacked her in the back of the head, all type of wild shit. And it, like I said, I'm not making this up. Like, it was a random video I saw on Facebook, and it was like, damn, son, like, I mean, we see that with African American males here. You know what I'm saying? But in other countries, they go from 0 to 100 real quick and don't give a fuck how nobody feels. I actually heard from a guy in England. Like he was doing an interview, one of the English channels or whatever I was seeing on Facebook, that he said, like, when African Americans, when they go to England or whatever, they get treated differently than the than the Africans that are already there. You know what I'm saying? Like we go there, we get treated with respect by police or whatever. But then, like certain areas of England, like in they hood, you know, it's total disrespect. I see videos of them getting hemmed up too, like much worse than what we get here. So Kimberly said it's similar but very different. In South Africa, colored or mixed race people like myself are seen as more violent than black people here.
Wow.
Or
more of a threat.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say similar but different. In the sense that I wouldn't even gauge it in regards to where it's more violent.
Yeah.
Because I mean, violence everywhere is violence everywhere. That's just you know, especially against just folks that look like us or are similar to us. It's just different. At the end of the day, you know, we're all experiencing that trauma as a result of either being victim to that kind of violence or witnessing that kind of violence on a regular basis. You know, it's pretty consistent. And I am going to bring up this since you broached it, because I wasn't going to. I wasn't necessarily going to broach it, but no, I wanted to bring it up because, you know, looking at the, you know, what happened at the Oscars last weekend, and, you know, talking to Lyrics about it, you know, having conversations with different folks, even Eric and I had a conversation about it. I like, for me personally, like I felt something I felt like that situation was more than what it was on the surface. Like me personally, I'm a spiritual being. Like, you can chalk it up to the zodiac. I know Ad is not into that. I'm a Pisces. I feel things very, very deeply. You know, the currents run deep for me. But when I saw that situation play out, I felt so many different layers of trauma in that within that situation. They were just like culturally, you know, historically, what had like just trauma, this collective trauma from us as Black folks, people of color. I saw kind of the same reaction from other folks. Like Twitter is the place to go when you want to see like an immediate reaction. And a lot of Black folks were like, you know, their first reaction was, we don't need white people talking about this. Like, just keep your thoughts to yourself. We know you saw it on TV. However, there's so much more to this. There's so many more layers to this than you will ever understand. And that's the thing. You know, like when I saw it, I thought about, like, you know, Chris Rock making the comment about Jada's, you know, bald head. And I went back to Louisiana where they had the laws, the Crown Act, where, you know, they prohibited Black women, Creole women from showing their hair. They had to wrap it up in, you know, in a wrap or some kind of headwear. And so they had to be creative with that to express themselves. You know, talking about Black people's hair, particularly Black women's hair, is just, that's traumatizing in itself. It's very triggering. Like I said, that immediately came to mind when I thought about it. And so just the fact that so many other Black people like intrinsically felt the same way about that situation, where they were immediately like, white people, you're not going to understand this. You're just not going to fully get the depth of this situation. I felt that. I knew exactly what they were talking about. It was like a collective just agreement, like instinctively. So what Lyrics, what's the face? What are you saying?
No, I feel what you're saying. Although what I honestly felt after seeing that was, I felt that Chris Rock should have approached Will Smith after awards after everybody was going home, and they should have went in the back alley and like he should have gave him 5 minutes.
But
I'm gonna be honest.
But that's how you
Should
feel
have gave
about
him
it.
5 minutes, but
But
like, no, I got what you're saying. Hold on, I got what you're saying, man. But like, that's public humiliation, B. Like, come on, man. Like, I see what you're saying, man. But like,
here's the thing about it, though.
It was ways how he could have handled that away from the camera.
No, but here's the thing about it, though. Chris Rock, I believe, anyway. This is my opinion. I feel like Chris Rock kind of felt the same thing. Like, hey, this is happening on a larger stage. This is happening for a reason, and it's beyond me. This is much deeper than it seems. Like I honestly think he felt that. That's why he said, let Will Smith stay here in the building. I'm not gonna press charges. We're just gonna work it out. I'm gonna process it. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do from there. Because I really believe that he recognized that there was some deep trauma happening. And not just Will, just as a whole. There was a lot of deep trauma. He was feeling deep trauma from being the victim of that situation.
I understand and I respect that. No, that's y'all collective feeling. My feelings about it is this. Like, away from all that collective feeling stuff, my feeling was this. I understand 100% completely where everybody stood in it. And I had arguments about this. Like, I had an argument with you about this shit. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Away from this. But at least we understood what's going on. Like, we understood and respect each other's opinions about it. Like, yo, I felt like this. That man, Will Smith, still owed Chris Rock 5 minutes in the back. I'm sorry. That's just, like, I can't shake that feeling. That was public humiliation. I don't give a fuck what you went through. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you sit there and you step on the biggest award ceremony as far as like their profession is concerned, and you slap the shit out of somebody, we got a fucking problem. Plain and simple. Like, yo, you owe me 5 minutes in the back alley.
But
I'm not trying to get nothing.
You're looking at it from the surface.
And guess what? I will continue to look at it from the surface. And guess what? Hold on, because the fact of the matter is this: his pride as a man is on the line, and I'm not trying to hear none of that bullshit. Like,
that's all. Yo, I'm gonna say something. I want to say something. That's all ego bullshit, man. We all know what the situation was. The man is a broken man. The man was at a breaking point, and this man had a decision to make. There's a toxic woman that he's been married for over 30 years, and he's been dealing with her bullshit and his own trauma that he's been dealing with. And then on top of that, he was in this. He blacked out. He fucking smacked the man. Realized that, oh shit, I fucked up.
But hold on.
Chris Rock is gonna come out. Chris Rock is gonna come out of this in the end, because right now his comedy tour is booked. He did the right thing, because by not smacking that man in front of TV, he showed, yo, I'm gonna compose myself. Even though he did step a line, I don't think that line was needed to smack like that. He could have had words with him afterwards, like you're saying, not physical words. I'm talking about verbal words.
He could have took that shit away from that. There's certain ways to handle that. Like, now you sitting there allowing, like, you know, getting away with that shit, or letting Will getting away with that shit. Yeah, I understand your ticket sales went up the charts and all this.
He's not gonna get away with it. Okay. People are pulling money. People are pulling money from his thing right now. He's losing money and like crazy.
Okay,
he's not gonna get away with it.
No, because Aaron is shaking his head right now, so I think we can get
lyrics. Hold on. The whole point. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I wasn't trying to get like super deep. Like, I wasn't trying to go on the other facets of the situation. I wanted to talk about just the triggers, the trauma, the generational trauma in this situation. That's all I was talking about. And I'm putting it back into the subject, which is the African diaspora. I think personally, I connected it to that collective trauma that the diaspora as a whole feels every single day, from the smallest detail or the smallest situation to something as big as that.
Well, I mean,
Seth. We gotta throw hands. 5 minutes in the back.
Yeah, 5 minutes in the back, man. You gotta do that 5 minutes, man. I'm sorry. Like, yo, no. No, all jokes aside, guys, I get it from everybody's perspective. I really do, and I highly respect it. But like somebody's gonna look at it from the surface like this. Like, remember, we in America, a lot of people look at shit from the surface. Only very few people look at it past a certain point. You know what I'm saying? The fact of the matter remains is, as men, you know what I'm saying? Yes, and I'm gonna be real pig-headed on this shit. And some people might not like it, but it's the truth. So I'm gonna shut it down with this. Yo, Will owe Chris 5 minutes in the back. Y'all know it just as well as I do. But you know what? It's already passed. It's done. It's in the past. You know, Will and Chris and Jada and them, whoever was involved, they got to live with that for the rest of their lives. So, you know, fuck it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it's just unfortunate because I mean the theme of all of this, like even just with the diaspora as a whole, is healing. There's so much healing that needs to be done between us, just as a collective. We need to, like I said, we need to recognize that we are all connected, that we all have, that we can all hold space for each other and understand and embrace our differences. You know, that's what did Vic say?
What's the funny thing?
Comments, just go back and
read the comments. Read the comments.
I'm
gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. Yo, Benny. Well, first of all, Kimberly said he chose violence. That's that. LOL. I like that one. Benny said, "Okay, I got one more thing to say. If Amy Schumer made the same KK, everyone would have moved on." Just kidding.
What is KK?
What? Joke. At least she made jokes. She put J.
JK is jokes. She's doing it in shorthand.
The same joke.
In shorthand.
No, I don't think they would have moved on, but I think they would have been. I think the problem is there is an issue between these. We're not going to say there's an issue between these two men already. There's been issues with them, so I think she would have been looked at like she was stupid, and there would have been backlash, but not to the degree that's happening right now.
Yeah, no, it definitely would not have happened though. He would not have hit Amy Schumer. Sure.
Oh, definitely, he would not throw hands on her. He would have had words to say for her, but not like that.
He probably would have done a Chris Rock and shaking the shit out of her.
Yo, guys, let's get back into it.
You done?
Yo, let's get back into it, man. Yo, Ed, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, yo, we got caught up in this shit, dude. Like, yo, go ahead, dude.
Look, it's fine, y'all. Again, it all still weaves in there some way, somehow. I'm just tired of talking about it. That's why I don't want to talk about it at all. It's gotten on my nerves. Everywhere I've walked, everywhere I've seen, it's literally that. Like, I just really been wanting to. That's why I didn't even do some of my shows for this whole week, because I already knew people were going to be like, oh, why don't you talk about? No.
Yo, let me tell you. Let me tell you what happened though, real quick. Let me tell you what happened after the slap happened. Right, 12:01. Yo, I gotta give a shout out to Mr. Lucario and Miles. Yo, Miles in the game. Yo, these motherfuckers, they were the first ones to go on YouTube and put that shit out there. So these motherfuckers got like 14,000 views and shit off that shit. They were the first ones to report off that shit. I swear, boy, they picked the right time to do it too, man. So shout out to Mr. Lucario and Miles in the game, man. Like, yo, they're my homeboys, man. I just had to say that shit, man. They got away off that shit. Like, they got some views off that, but like, yo, to be honest with you, I'm about sick and tired of this shit my damn self, man. Like, yo, do us a favor, Will Smith. Give Chris Rock 5 minutes in the back. You know what I'm saying? Solve that shit, and we good. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Oh my goodness. All right. You know, still get back into all of this. I wanted to add, I know, Eric, did you have anything you wanted to add when we were talking about earlier about like some of the physical aspects of whether the differences in the U.S. and various ways in diaspora?
Well, the thing is, the only way I have to comparison is through media. Like, I think that's a weird way to compare things because, you know what I mean? Like, because I don't have that experience. Mm-hmm. I can say what my experience is through connectivity of history, but like to say, oh, I have this experience, but they have this experience. I don't know that. I do find it interesting that Kimberly say about the being mixed people being more violent. Like, I'm curious to know why people they have that opinion. I mean, is it because there's a they feel they're a threat because of the mixing of blood or something like that? Or I would love to know what's going on with that.
Yeah, no. So Kim, add some in there. But go ahead.
Hey, yo, Kim, we need to have Kim live and shit, like, yo, somewhere in the show, like, you know what I'm saying? I would really love to hear about that shit too, because I was like, what? Mixed people getting violent and shit?
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Like, yo, haha, lyrics can't help himself. Yeah, you damn right I can't help myself. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? At least you know that. So,
okay.
Hey, what's going on here? This is making me feel uncomfortable. You want me to drop out?
What do you mean make you feel? Yo, bro, we didn't expect it.
Jolo.
You ever seen that meme of the little boy? You ever seen that meme of the little boy looking like this? That's what I'm looking at you right now. Like you know what you're talking about. Making me feel comfortable.
Right.
Dog, I don't know what
Sounding like
talking
a situation.
about. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Well, the
high peace.
Jolo. Okay, Jolo.
Trouble going on over here.
But okay. So look at yeah. Hey, it's all look. It's the show. Y'all should know this by now. But with that, fact. I wanted to add my own experience with this too, because I would be like you, Eric. Like I haven't really had many, but I'm grateful that I have. And this is my time when I got to study abroad in specifically Italy, which there are some folks that are there in Italy. And I noticed the different treatment, especially when I was there, of course, being American versus folks who were coming there to Italy. Most of the folks that were coming there are more like Cameroonian. So they were coming off there from down from that coast coming up to Italy. So a lot of them were, you know, seen in a different light from how I was, whether if they was more threatening or not, because some of the folks that did become refugees and things there, some, of course, they were trying to make their way. So you have folks on the streets. Some of them was naming them as gypsies, you know, going around wanting to, you know, get up on folks, while others is just, you know, walking around and doing their own thing. But I can tell the difference of at least treatment or, you know, the status of folks who were refugees versus myself being from America. He says, "Oh, what Kimberly said."
Yeah, Kimberly, she wants to get on. Like she just sent a request.
All right.
This is Jolo the pandemic.
Jolo the pandemic.
He like,
yep. Jolo pandemic. I like that. Yo,
oh my goodness.
You should have never told us that word. I swear, man. Like, yo, oh man, like I like that word. Like, I mean, if somebody just drop off for a couple moments or whatever, so we can get in real quick.
No, yeah, it'd be great.
Like that's what I'm trying to. And then there he is. We good.
It'd be great to have him on. You know, to have a different perspective.
Exactly.
He is part of the diaspora.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, the ma'am. other thing. Okay, as Kim is coming in.
Hey, Kim.
Yo.
What's up, Kim? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How's everyone doing?
All right.
Doing well.
Okay. Chilling. You know us, man. Like we hit with the fuckery, man. Like that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Nah, man. Like,
we didn't know what we were walking into. Sorry. He was there for it. We don't. Ed and I don't know what we walked into. Sorry.
Oh, this is wow.
This is cool too. And I feel like I always school certain people because they don't understand that being a mixed race person in South Africa, there's you're always associated with violence, alcoholism, teen pregnancy, lack of education, coming from a broken home, more alcoholism, drugs, and gangsterism. Because gangsterism is such a big thing out in Cape Town.
Gangsterism?
Yeah, dude.
No, I didn't know that was the word. I swear I knew that was the word. Gangsterism. I like that. Like you teach us all these beautiful words and shit. Like, yo, like, go ahead, my fault.
Like gangsterism is a big thing in Cape Town. even in my home province, which is in KwaZulu-Natal, in Durban, it's also a big thing because of some gangs. There were too many gangs in Cape Town, so they pushed up and they moved to different areas like Durban, where they're trying to claim territory and so on and so forth. You can have your drive-bys and all that type of stuff. But most of the so-called race that's associated to all that violence is mixed race or colored people. So when I walked into a workspace in Johannesburg for the first time, and I went in as a senior, and the ladies that worked under me, when they saw me, they were fearful of me. And I could feel the atmosphere in the space, and I'm like, okay, now I can feel these people are really uncomfortable. And to get to a point where we were free enough and talked and we were friendly, they were like, Kim, we were scared of you. And I was like, why? Because we thought you came from like those, those hectic colored neighborhoods, where you're going to come and stab us with a knife. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what?
Wow.
Damn.
So it's funny because that's like, even with the pieces with my poetry, I've written a lot of pieces that relate to that. And maybe on an international scale, people might not relate to it or understand it. But people locally, when I say I'm your untypical colored chick, they're like, yeah, we get you. I'm not I'm gonna grab a knife for you or crack a bottle over your head type of colored chick. Because that's when, even I remember when I dated a black guy, it was a thing of, ooh, you're dating a colored chick. Wow, colored people are dangerous. Somebody try to pay him. A black person try to pay him for leaving, and I'm out here thinking I'm black and I'm mixed with, Xhosa and Zulu and German, and I'm just, I'm just too cool. I can speak Zulu. I can fit into, your informal settlements. I'm moving with my black friends. I didn't have white friends. I'm moving with all these different, but I'm moving with all these different races. They're comfortable with me. I'm comfortable with them. But then when it's time to date within that pool, it's a no. It was always that no.
Wow.
Oh, no. But that's the mindset of what white people did when they enforced the apartheid and segregation system in South Africa. If you mess around with a person's mindset long enough, even with colonialism and everything with regards to this, if you mess around with a person's mindset and you start telling your white kids from a small age that black people are dangerous, mixed race people are dangerous because we don't understand them and they don't have a certain culture or way of life. So that means they have to go and create their own. The same way some black people that were taken had to go and do the same thing in other countries, start forming their own different cultures and their own different ways of cooking and eating and adapting to life and the temperatures and the realities of the new situations that they were put in. So the same with colored people.
Sorry, my apologies. That's no, seriously. Like that, like what you're saying is kind of like similar to what I heard, like like years ago when the slaves came to the United States, and I'll just point this out in particular when they used to like cook the slave masters' food and whatever have you, like whatever scraps that were thrown out. Black people, we made those like our own, like chitlins and pig ears, pig heads, stuff of that nature. Like the part of the animal they wouldn't eat.
So you guys eat pig head too?
Huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
oh yeah.
It's more. Pig head is more so like down south, and even like here in New York is more with
they do it
the
here. They're called pork rinds or chicharrones.
No, she said pig head.
The same thing. It's the same thing. It's pig skin.
No,
It's
but
just
what I'm
fried.
saying here in the city, it is wow. Okay. Point of the matter is when you said like black people when they go to certain areas and they make certain cuisines, they make certain stuff of their own culture and stuff. That's kind of like how we did here in the States too. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came to slavery, like we had to kind of make do it. They had to make do with whatever circumstances they were put under, especially since after they were freed and stuff of that nature. At least from That's when history.
But isn't that the beauty, though, of Black people or African people on a whole, is that we make do with what we have, or we try and make the best out of a situation.
Yeah.
Yes,
back then,
definitely.
not many of us can do that. Some of us are too scared to get our hands dirty.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, some of us have too much pride.
Yeah.
Right. Yo, come to Android. You right. Chopped cheese.
Stop.
Chopped cheese is my shit. Nah, son, man, he started that shit. Yeah, chopped cheese is America's favorite food.
Cheese, I bet he still eat it.
Nah, fuck out of here, son. Chopped cheese. You never put. No, don't do that shit. Chopped cheese is chopped cheese.
We need a T-shirt of every time when you put lyrics in that feeling, and he's like this, that his face like that needs to go on the T-shirt.
I don't have a jar. Here's my cup.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. Stop fucking with my chopped cheese.
I'm taking the collection.
Fuck out of here.
But this is crazy, right? I know a friend of mine that moved out to New Hampshire, and he couldn't get certain foods, or not foods, but like certain ingredients of foods that we would make here, right? Like your ground mealie meal, or ground corn, not corn, it's not sweet corn, but it's ground mealie meal, and a few other things like tinned fish and a few things that you would only get in Africa. And he imported it, and he's like, now I could taste a bit of home. And I was like, what? You can't get that there? And he's like, no, I can't. I had to import. I'm like, no, thank you.
I'm coming to New York. They got a lot of African supermarkets here. Whatever, you get all that shit here, man. New York, man. New York, we get it popping over here. And on top of that, he takes chopped cheese. Tell him that shit's the best thing ever. I bet when he tastes chopped cheese, he gonna think of nothing else, son. No,
what is chopped cheese? I need to really go and Google what chopped cheese is for real.
It's the greatest meal you ever get.
Since we're here, we might as well just talk about it since we're here. Let's talk about the foods, the cultural food. Since we're here on this topic, might as well. So go ahead, Larry. Get back to your chopped cheese. Go ahead.
Chopped cheese is the greatest motherfucking thing that was ever created in the hood. Like, stop playing with me, man. Like, yo, and you don't put no fucking pig ears in that shit stuff. Don't ever disrespect chopped cheese like that. What is wrong with y'all, man? Talking some bullshit about, you can put this, that, third and chopped. No, the fuck you don't. So you put it's a chopped hamburger. You know what I'm saying? You put the cheese in that shit. You cook the cheese in that bitch. And more cheese on top of that with lettuce, tomato, ketchup, some hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? Some mayonnaise and shit. You know what I mean? Like, some people put pickles and jalapenos on that shit. Them niggas is weird. Like, I don't know. Like, yo. Yep. What?
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with all
you might put some Southwest sauce in that bitch or whatever have you, if they got that bitch there. But otherwise than that shit is delicious. I'm telling you. You're random. Chopped cheese, nigga. That's what I'm eating, man. Like chopped cheese, man.
There was this chick on TikTok that did. She said, "I'm cooking the national dish of South Africa. This is babati," and I'm like, "What the heck is she talking about?" I'm here and I've never eaten that thing in my life, you know. So I remember doing a duetted it, and another friend of mine duetted it, and he was like, "What is that? We don't know what that is. You know, that's the national dish of Cape Town. That's not the national dish of the whole of South Africa. It's different if you're talking about, like, you know, a shisanyama. Shisanyama is like a barbecue or like braai meat, you know, and pap, which is that maize meal. That you can call that a national dish. You know, insides, cow, inside intestines, and all that different stuff. Yeah, don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. I know everything sold as
Stop judging her food. Stop judging her food.
I'm not judging the food. Like,
yes, you are.
The first time
yes, you are. What was that face? That was a judging face.
Well, you know, if you grind that up,
look at your lips.
Hold on. If you grind that up in the meat, right, in the hamburger meat, and then you fry that, and you put that in the cheese, chopped cheese, right there. You put cheese with that. Like, yo, you can turn anything into chopped cheese. Man. Stop playing with me, man. Like, I'm just giving y'all some hints and stuff. I mean, not hints, but some pointers to make some chopped cheese. Never mind, fuck it.
Well, you know what? It's honestly amazing how, like you said, we always take the items that are considered the leftovers and we turn them into something precious, and then the world turns around and looks at us and says, "Oh yeah, we can get down with this. We didn't know you could make this out of so little." Like fried chicken. White people in particular have always tried to use fried chicken against us when those were the throwaway items. Man. And they were, chickens were the cheapest sources of food. And they were easier to take care of because feeding chickens was easy. All you had to do was feed a cornmeal. But the fact that we took chicken, which was considered a throwaway, now it's, at one point it was considered a delicacy. And then we were taking that, we were selling fried chicken and feeding our families with the money that we were making off of fried chicken.
Yep.
Yes, Lord.
We is not in church.
It's something to look down on. It should be looked at as a symbol of pride.
Yeah, yes, that's what we have, I think, in common as old people at this point, as I think especially African people. But I think also, as I said, like with colored people and Black people in South Africa, there's so many things that we do, that we say, that we eat, the way we live, that are so similar.
Yeah.
But different because of obviously segregation and the system of apartheid, but are similar. And as you said, chicken. We love chicken. There are so many KFCs. It's KFC and South Africans are like this. Like
Shoot, KFC in the Caribbean are like this. When I went to Jamaica, there was a KFC on one side, there was a Popeyes on the other side. The Popeyes had a little bit of traffic going on, but that KFC line though wrapped around at least 3 times.
Yeah, let me tell y'all something.
That's how loved KFC is around the world. Just in Black nations.
KFC is good. Don't get me wrong, but there's this one chicken spot in Queens on Linden Boulevard. It's called New York Fried Chicken. Let me tell you something. That's the best chicken I've ever had in New York. Let me tell you something. It's the best. When you know that the local church gets 200 pieces per Sunday, you know that shit is delicious. I used to stop by there and get 2-3 pieces on my delivery. Whoever, it was my last job. Yeah, I did it. Fuck it. Like, that shit was delicious with the biscuit on the side. Oh my God, boy, you got me. Listen, that shit was delicious. You kill for that chicken, boy. You hear me, man? New York Fried Chicken. Yo, you come down here, we go to Queens. I'm telling you, gonna tell your people that, yo, this shit was the shit. I'm telling you, man. Whoo!
You know who has the best chicken? You know who has the best chicken? It's that one auntie that always makes dope food every Sunday. It's that one auntie that doesn't want to take her stuff and sell it to anyone. It's that one auntie's food that you're always looking forward to. You won't eat from the morning just so you can taste her food. That's the person that always has the best chicken.
Yeah,
somebody auntie or somebody grandmama at church, and you know good and well you ain't go to church, but you go to church for that chicken. I ain't gonna lie to you. I went to church for that chicken. That's the only reason why I went to church. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? God,
a lot of people went to church for that chicken.
You did. You and then
church is chicken
in general. The free collard greens, the free biscuits, the free rolls, the free candy yams, all of that.
And let you not come bring your butt with that food to church that one Sunday. Yeah, you want to talk about hell on earth? You gonna see some man? Don't have me getting the cussing, boy. That's how delicious that damn chicken was. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who joined us was going on.
Yeah, we up in here. Y'all just went in on that, but go ahead.
Like seriously, like I feel like the main thing that brings though the differences, and I know we talk about like healing and stuff like that, but as much as you could have a room of 100 people and maybe there'll only be 30 people in that room that are willing to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of of the battle that they're still facing on a mental level. You know, especially I know like in South Africa, we have politicians that still haven't healed from the past. They're still talking about violence and they still lifting up, you know, our political situation is messed up now because we have a whole lot of old people in politics that are still traumatized because of apartheid. And because of this whole situation of segregation and slavery and all that different stuff. And it affects especially countries like Africa, where people were taken from to build other countries. And it's funny because we were in another room and someone was saying, how can we make Africa great again? We can't make Africa great again. And we can't make Africa great like anybody else because they already told Africans your ways are savage. Your barter system that you have, the way that you live in a hut is not humane enough, or the fact that you cook on an outside fire is just not for you. Who said we weren't fine with cooking on an outside fire and enjoying the stars without all the lights and the pollution? Who said we were fine?
Hey, clap, damn it! Like, yo, we clapping and shit. We clapping and shit.
Sis.
Bro, can you stop? Just go.
No, I ain't stopping nothing.
I felt that.
I felt
Yeah,
it. You
clap,
don't have to
Kim.
clap.
Kim,
Bro,
we are here.
we're
No,
here.
you clapping. Fuck out of here, son. I'm tired of that. Kim. But that was that right there. What you just said was the random thoughts quote of the week. The quote of the week. That was the motherfucking that was the line of the week right there, man. Random thoughts line of the week, man. Fuck it.
And
we got that.
And I do wanna move into that too. But before we move into the mental and get into that, because I have references on that for that. I wanted to also share, at least for me, of what I gotten to learn, at least food culturally, for me growing up. My mom, my aunties and all of them told us that we're a mixture of many things, whether if we have Cherokee, Blackfoot, as well as on the other side of my uncles, they're Creole. So a lot of my family members too come from Louisiana, specifically also New Orleans. So in that particular case, like some Creole dishes that like my mom and my grandmother and them will end up making to be like some seafood jambalaya, or we'll be making deviled eggs. We'll end up making gumbo, just
gumbo.
a number of different dishes. Okra is another thing that comes up too within in those dishes, and I know okra is like a staple in multiple different dishes throughout the diaspora. But like, I just wanted to bring that up because as a kid, this is when I started to get at least exposure to learning about, okay, I'm just not only just Black, but part of my family, there are folks that are Creole. What's Creole? Creole is again some mixed race folks that again with French, Black, African, all those different Spanish. Again Spanish. It's such a mix all up in there that's also part of me too, or at least that's within my family too. Oh, what is this? What's this type of dish? And it all adds together. For me, there's a way that we do our food within culturally that it brings so much soul. It brings people together with the food that we create. That's why I know not only just from the pig, the chitlins and all of that being called soul food, but it's the way that it's prepared with the love that is given. It's that soul that just connects it. I mean, Southern comfort is a thing out there, again, in the South, of just not only the way that people display themselves, but it's through the food.
Right. Can we?
Well,
we can take it down. We can take it back to the alcohol as well. We got to put a little liquor in there, but
not sponsored by. Not sponsored by.
Hey, that is a part of
this episode of Random Thoughts is not brought to you in part by alcohol. Like,
no, but I wanted to bring up specifically, and Eric is going to get on me for this, but I don't care. We always have this debate around the holidays because Eric, by the way, Eric makes bomb as coquito. His coquito is amazing, absolutely amazing.
I don't want to hear it unless I get a bottle of it.
Man, it's so good. I'm bringing it up anyway. So you're already in New York. Just get some this year. But Eric makes some banging coquito, and we were talking about we always talk about the similarities between coquito, between eggnog, and also, you know, in Haiti they have a similar drink called cremas. And I'm sure there are other places that have I think Brazil has a drink that's very similar as well.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. I forgot what it's called. But
he always gets mad.
You're the spirits guy, so yeah, you should all the drinks and spirits.
No, I actually work at a wine and spirit shop, man. Yo, shout out to them guys, man. Like, yo, so I really do know my shit. Like, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, get drunk. So, all right, cool.
Yeah, I gotta, you know, speaking of which, I gotta break out my
Black Eyed Peas,
my Crucian rum at some point. But no, I just brought it up to I just brought it up to basically say, like, that's also part of the connection. You know, he might have a debate about it. I see the similarities in those drinks. They're very similar in color, certain ingredients. Like you said, Kim, earlier, you know, the only difference is, you know, some of the regional, you know, aspects of it, and also the like part of colonialism and what we had as resources coming from, you know, from those white colonists. So, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Well, I got a question for you, Kimberly. Do you guys have jollof rice over there, like in South Africa? Like,
what?
I heard there was a dish, an African dish called jollof rice or something like that.
Jollof
rice, yeah, jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
It's jollof rice.
All right, so to answer my question, hell no. Like, you ain't that's probably on the other side of Africa.
Yeah, almost sound like you said mujolo rice. I'm like, what? You said mujolo rice. I'm like, what?
A situationship rice? That's what we have? Situationship rice? That's a thing?
Steph and fuck you. They're going to try to play me and shit? Got you. No problem. Like, no, but you never heard of jollof rice before? Like, yo, like, I know it's an African dish, African rice, man. Like, I thought it was, I didn't know what part of
Africa is a very large continent.
Exactly. It's a
large
continent. Very large.
Even something I've never tasted, you know, but I'm always open to trying. Like, I'm always trying new foods of different places, trying to learn, you know, how, like, I learned for the first time, I thought I was making a certain food right all along, like pap, for example, which is the maize. When I moved out to Johannesburg, this lady from Zimbabwe that I worked with, she was like, no, you don't make it like this, you make it like that. And I'm like, but I know this way. And she's like, no, you make it like this. This is how we make it in Zimbabwe. So I learned how to make it her way. And I was like, oh, so your way is quicker and it tastes much better. So I'm going to do it your way, you know. So you're always learning different things. And there's so many different foods, especially in my area where I stay. Like, I'm surrounded by Congolese, Somali, people from Mozambique. My landlord she's Mozambican. I love their food. Yeah, their food. Like, they have absolutely amazing food. I went out with them during December. We went out to a joint that's here, a hotel with a rooftop restaurant in Johannesburg Central, and it was a whole Mozambique vibe. You know, the way they were dancing, everything, the culture, the music, the way they were speaking. I was like, ooh, it's like I'm really in Mozambique. Like, what's going on? The food, everything that you're experiencing was Mozambican. And I'm like, ooh, I want more of this, you know. But the fact that there's similarities, but there's so many differences. So many differences.
No, I'm sorry. It's jollof rice. Jollof rice. I said that shit. I ain't said that had with y'all, man. Like, I said jollof rice. Y'all ain't you ain't hear me? And Steph trying to play me on the low. Like, get out of here, son. Like, yo, jollof rice. I said that. Maybe it's the audio.
How was I trying to play you on
you trying to play
rice.
Me, like,
no, I'm just saying it's jollof rice.
Yeah, exactly. Jollof. I said,
but I think Benny's right. It is. I believe it is West African. Because I believe it has a French derivation to it. So
when I see somebody cook it online and whatever, and I was like, that shit look delicious. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
now, someone says jollof rice. He also sang jollof rice.
Yeah, it's jollof rice. Benny has it correct.
Yo, thank you, Vinny. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank you for being a friend, unlike Steph here, who tried to play me.
I wasn't trying to play you. What are you talking about? I wasn't trying to play you.
Yo, get out of here. You was trying to play
I
me.
wasn't trying to play you. I promise you.
Like, whatever feelings I had is done. Like, you try to hurt me shit.
Maybe when I bring out the collection jar, yes, I am definitely trying to play you.
We grew up on jollof. We grew up on mealie meal and pap and infino and what is this other stuff? Putu and Mars. Mars is like fermented milk, I show it. Mars is like fermented milk. Yeah, it's like fermented milk. It is fermented milk. We don't read the ingredients. We just know it tasted good and it tastes good.
So it's like a condensed milk kind of situation, or
not. It's sour. It's very sour in taste.
Okay.
And some sugar in it. We love having it during the summer. And we grew up like on maheu, which is it's like fermented porridge, mealie porridge, where they leave it to stand for a little bit and it becomes like a juice where you add sugar in it and you enjoy it in summer. My grandmother used to make that. That's the type of foods that we lived off. We lived off the land, basically. Picked mangoes off trees during our school holidays and pawpaws and, grapefruit and all these different things. That's how we grew up farm life. Johannesburg, though, is different.
Yo, poet B. I said it right. I said jollof. I ain't say no jello rice. Like, go ahead, man. Like, yo, y'all trying to play me now, man. Like, y'all trying to play me, man. Get out of here. Yo, we got a question, man. Yo, we got a question. Clever Android said, what about Moby? What is that? Mavimauby?
I can't go back and see the comments.
Yeah.
No, it was a question that he asked.
Wait, that must be way up. I don't see it.
No. It was in the question. It was in the question circle. Like, I saw it. Like, I'm telling you,
it must be in yours.
Yeah, it's in yours.
It is.
In ours. Yeah, it's not in ours. So we're not gonna see it.
Okay.
It
says
like,
Mavi or Mavi.
Yeah. What about Mavi or Mabi?
Mavi and Mabi. That's probably coming from the other part of Africa.
Poet D said mushy foods. Okay.
Yeah.
Mushy food. That's cool.
Okay. Yeah. Benny asked, what's your favorite South African dish?
Everything that's produced from the land, every type of vegetable that's cooked from like you can taste the difference from a store-bought onion, store-bought spinach, store-bought tomato compared to a something that's naturally cultivated from soil, proper soil. You can taste the difference even in your chicken. And we grew up on that stuff. So anything produced by someone's hands, like for me, for example, I don't buy my fruit and vegetables from the store. I buy them from the auntie down the road that's sitting on a table. Where when you're going to go and buy from her, I'm not going to negotiate as to why your price is that. I'm just going to take it for that price because I know that's your hustle. That's your side business. That's what you're doing. And there's sand and stuff still on that stuff. It's fresh. You can see they still stand on the spinach. There's still roots attached to the onions and stuff like that. So yeah, anything for me that's that's just cooked from using organic stuff. That's my food. Any home cooked food, that's my food.
So that's
beautiful.
dope.
That's beautiful.
I wish we can do that in America, man. Like, you can tell the difference. Like, you can't tell the difference in America what's processed and what's not, unless I'm about to say, unless you live on a farm and some shit like that, when you grow it your own damn self. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm saying, listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
Steph. Let him dig.
No.
Let him continue to dig.
Let me dig my own grave.
Let him get out the roots. Let him get out his roots. Let him get out his roots. And then I'm going to let Steph. We already know. You got the Malcolm X glasses on. You got it. Go ahead.
Thank you. looking good in the Malcolm X classes, by the way, Steph. It ain't Halloween. Fuck out of here. Anyway, so like I was saying, right? With the bullshit,
so
all right? Let me continue about bullshit.
Go ahead, continue.
Oh, Meadows, what's going on?
Continue. Exactly. Benny, I thank you.
What? No, wait. Why you gotta call Benny for? No, me and you. Fuck all that other shit. Why you gotta call Benny for?
Because she said.
And Doug said I need to switch to my ass. Wow.
You live in New York. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh, organic market. Okay. You know what, Benny? I'm gonna retract. I'm gonna retract that.
I mentioned this in the other episode about healthy eating. They have these things called CSAs, which are
you always want to be right, Steph. Get out of here.
I'm not saying I'm right. You just don't have the answer.
Nah, son, you
ain't got the answer.
You ain't got the answer, son. I'm just saying. You're talking about that it's hard to distinguish between. I can't tell if it's organic or not.
Because hear me out. Hear me out. From my side of the track, where I'm around, they'll tell you some shit is organic. You know what I'm saying? But then it looks like the processed fruits and vegetables you buy at the supermarket. That's all I'm saying. And like, matter of fact, the motherfuckers in Manhattan that sell the fruits and vegetables on the corner or whatever have you, you know, those guys, okay? That shit, it looks organic, look natural, but they might have naturally got that off the back of a truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, and selling it on the corner. Naturally.
My dude,
I'm just saying.
My dude, you live in the Bronx. The Bronx
has... me in the building.
No.
Bronx, New York, what up? Say something.
I am going to say something.
Say something. BX, we in the building. Stop playing with me.
Let me tell you something. The Bronx has... The Bronx has the largest distribution center in all of the United States.
And
that everything, like 80% of the food that the U.S. eats comes through the Bronx. And you're telling me that you can't distinguish between organic and inorganic or processed. They have CSAs.
No.
They have CSAs in the Bronx, by the way.
But have you been in them? I've been in them. Have you been in them?
No, I haven't.
So I know what I'm talking about. Like, yo, go ahead with that, man.
No, what I'm saying is you have those options. You're just not looking for them. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? You're right. I'll be lazy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't be looking for that shit. I'm not gonna. If the fruits and vegetables is right there, I'm like, yo, son, let me get some of that right there. Or matter of fact, they look at me as a fat motherfucker and they just give it to me because they think I need it to lose weight. So fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and get it.
I will say though, I have been to some farmers markets in the Bronx. There are plenty of them in New York City as a whole.
Yes.
There's so many farmers markets. So many. They have them like almost every weekend, and they come directly from the farmer, and you can see all the dirt and the grime and the grit and all of that in that food.
Yeah, but you don't see them farmer motherfuckers go to the farm fair or parade. Or any of them supermarkets in the hub, like, go ahead, like, stop.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
Where they at? I don't see none of them dudes around there. I see a big ass truck with like a whole bunch of processed fruits and vegetables. Sometimes, be like, yo, you wilding.
No, there's a farmers market in was it Flatbush? They would what was it? Food Not Bombs, which is another organization. I don't even know if they still exist or not. They used to give that food away for free in Marcy Projects. Like there's so many farmers markets
in Brooklyn. I'm in the Bronx, baby. You said in the Bronx, baby.
You said the hood.
Yeah, in the Bronx hood, in
so I'm giving you some hoods that they sell
or a farm fair.
I'm
Get out of here.
Like,
no, you always try to be right. That's it. You try to be right. That's it. Anyway, stop being right.
You're not
because she got her Malcolm X glasses on. She right. All right, man.
You're not exploring your options.
No,
Okay.
you know what? I'm going on my option for what it is. I got fruits and vegetables, right? It's fruits and vegetables. Fuck out of here. Like, and I'm gonna put some butter on that shit, saute it, and it's gonna taste delicious. But with the seasonings and shit, I'm good. Like, yo,
I'll
run around the block afterwards. Fuck it. Like, yo, whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yo,
look.
So Ed, continue.
Yeah. We're gonna get into one more of those subtopics, and then after that, we gonna call it because there's so much more we can do with this. But go ahead, Steph. I know you got something.
And no, Benny said there's one by Bronx Botanical Garden. No excuses.
Oh, what? I'm gonna see that.
Thank you, Benny.
Yo, Ben. No.
Let him
Thank
know
you,
what's up.
Benny.
Let him know what's
Thank
up.
you, Benny, because she's trying to play games over here. She's trying to be right. She's trying to be Stephanie X right now. Trying to be right with the Malcolm X glasses. Get out of here, man.
Stephanie X.
This presentation was brought to you today in part of Stephanie X. Like, fuck out of here, man. Like, go ahead, man.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Well,
like,
right.
yo, man, come on, B.
Benny's my partner in crime.
Oh man.
Yo, Benny, enough love. You already know Benny. You already know that. Shout out to Benny.
But
Poet D said her beauty comes like a soothing breeze blowing on a mid-morning day in May. Okay.
What is going on? What is happening? What is happening?
Yo, you know Poet D, Kimberly? Because I know he ain't talking to me. Is he talking about Steph? You know him? Like, I don't.
No, he can't be talking about me.
He talking about.
I'm nothing like a soothing breeze. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like a storm in December. Fuck that. Like, I'm
a storm in December.
Like,
oh
like,
my
yo,
goodness!
I fuck everybody.
3
I
feet
fuck
of snow.
everybody.
That's this dude right over here.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I think you have an admirer, Kim. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, he said she pretty. She pretty.
Thank you, babe.
All right. With that,
Take
the last topic, at least for this, before we end off, I wanted to get in. Yeah, you got to. I want to speak about the music and speak about the cultural, if not different, mixes within music. Reason why I say that is reason why I want to say that is because, especially for at least me and folks of hip hop, we know where all those multiple different roots come from. Especially if we talking about DJ Kool Herc and Toastin' in Jamaica and bringing that here to create what we will know as hip hop.
Yes,
I wanted to at least let's touch on some of those either differences and commonalities throughout the whole diaspora of just music. Because again, I can speak on New Orleans and that type of music. You can speak again on go-go, a whole group of stuff. So go ahead.
Well, can I be honest with you about something? Like, let's just start off with jazz. You know, jazz, W.C. Handy. You know, shout out to the descendants of W.C. Handy.
That's me.
For some reason now Steph is a descendant of W.C. Handy. Get the fuck out of here.
W.C. Handy, as well as Malcolm X.
Now you're a part of W.C. Handy. You're a descendant of Malcolm X. Go ahead, man.
No,
like,
I'm serious.
now you're a descendant of W.C. Handy. No, I'm serious too.
Side,
Kim, you see this?
I'm serious too.
On my dad's side, I'm a descendant of
on your pop's side.
Yeah,
now, you know, I'm gonna ask your pops. I need to see pictures. I need to see yo, show me the Carfax. Show me the Carfax.
All right, Dr. Umar Johnson. I am a descendant of Frederick Douglass. All right.
Now I'm not Umar Johnson. Okay, with his fake document.
You know what?
Anyway,
I'm a descendant of George Washington Carver.
You know, my Sundays were too quiet without hopping into one of these. Like, my Sundays have just been too formal and too peaceful. I needed to come in here so I could see violence, you know. Like, Lyrics walks in here and he chooses violence from the moment he opens his mouth. He's like, yeah. I don't care what you're saying. If you're saying no, I'm gonna say yes. If you're saying yes, I'm gonna say no. I don't care.
That's a fact.
But also by inserting yourself into the situation, you also chose violence. So
that's a fact.
Just understand.
Hashtag
it's
support dummy shit.
I'm supporting Ed. Here. Like, I'm with Ed on this.
Again, no, I told you, I'm getting out the car. I am not getting in the car with you.
I'm stopping the car. I'm chasing down the block. You going in the back of the trunk, and we going. Fuck out of here.
Sorry, I told you I'll be in the trunk with my arm out trying to flag someone down. I'm trying to be
fuck out of here.
I'm trying to be saved from this high speed getaway.
That is not how you connect the diaspora, okay?
You know what? At the end of the day, it's all love, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? As long as we can see people laughing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? You wiping tears out your face and shit. You know this shit is funny, man. Like, no, let me stop. Anyway, when it comes to
Uncle WC Handy, you can continue. Go ahead.
Now he a fucking uncle now, man. Like, go ahead, man. He ain't your uncle. He ain't your uncle. Get out of here, son. Like, no, I'm gonna talk to your pops. I need to see pictures.
You can talk to my mom. You can talk to my mom. You know the Handys were at the wedding.
I am a great descendant of George Washington Carver, the man that created soap. How about that?
No wonder you like.
Oh, you carrying on his legacy? Is that what that is?
Damn right. I'm carrying on this motherfucking legacy without the peanuts. Fuck out here. Hashtag watch your ass.
You putting the spin on his legacy? That's what we doing.
Fuck it. Like, yo, that's it. Hey, man. Like, you know what? He found the peanut and created all types of shit with that motherfucker. So, you know what I mean? Like, yep, Doug Peanuts. That's it. They're peanuts. You know what I'm saying? He created soap. How the fuck you create soap with peanuts? Like, only he did it. You know, I wish I could talk to him about it. And guess what? We became a cleaner, healthier America because of peanuts. Shout out to George Washington Carver, my great cousin from somebody the fuck else. How about that? Like, yo. So anyway.
Okay, let's get into music. I'm sorry.
Let's get into music.
It's his fault, but go ahead.
Yeah, it is my fault. Fuck it. But I'm just saying. They say that jazz is like the grandfather of all music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, as far as American, like Black American music and stuff is concerned, from that perspective. And sorry, we have ads saying no. Can you please check? I would like to see the Carfax on that.
No, I'm looking at the comments, but I was trying not to shake my head, but I did.
Shit. Okay, my fault.
Thoughts. Yeah, my thoughts. He
watch your peanuts with peanuts. Yo, I'm trying to make a point here. You just, all right, man. Yo, chicken and beef, what's good, man? Yo, this is some funny shit today, man. I swear, man. I thank you guys for joining. But anyway, jazz is supposed to be the creation for all music or whatever have you. Then you got rock. What was it? You got blues. Shout out to my dad. He was a blues musician.
Actually, shout out to my dad. Jazz, it was gospel. But go ahead.
Well, okay, then gospel. But then you also have blues. You know, my father was a blues musician. Shout out to him. Non-thology, what's going on, non-thology?
What's up,
you know, it was his 83rd birthday. I think it was like 2 days ago. You know what I mean? Shout out to my father. You know what I'm saying? Happy belated birthday to my dad. You know, Raymond Shinnery. You know,
happy birthday, Pops. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Pops. You know what I'm saying? He's still here too, man. I was talking the other day, you know what I'm saying? Like, love you to death, you know what I mean? So I do come from a musical background, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of things. So, you know, then, you know, unlike Miss WC Handy over here, you know, I said it, Miss WC motherfucking Handy over here. Like, yo, bro,
you just
continue.
Continue. Thank
no,
you.
I'm just showing hate. I'm showing hate. That's
showing hate.
I'm showing hate. Thank you.
All right, the player haters ball. Hate over here.
I hate you and I hate your guts. Kiss my black ass.
Oh man.
No, but anyway, like
you look like a bootleg iced tea. Like, yeah.
Yo, that skit was funny as fuck too, by the way. But I'm just saying, like, it all trickles down. But then I remember one time my dad was listening to he was actually listening to the radio, and he was listening to world music. He was always an admirer of world music and stuff. And he was listening to Sambo, and I'm like, I think that's Samba. Like that's the Brazilian.
Oh, Samba.
Samba. My fault. Samba music. And I was like, he was listening to some interesting shit because it was a sample from some hip hop joint I heard. You know, because hip hop samples a lot of like it samples more than just blues, rock, gospel. You know, so it sample hip hop. The most beautiful thing about hip hop is it samples other sounds that the American ear is not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like there was a 70s Brazilian old Brazilian jazz band that
jazz is fire.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Shout out to all the Brazilian jazz artists. Shout out to all the African jazz artists too, because African jazz is dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
The Godfather.
Yeah. Mtumbe, you know what I'm saying? That's how you say Mtumbe, right? Like, cause I don't want to fuck his name up.
Mtumbe,
yeah.
the same. Yeah.
Mtumbe.
Okay. Yeah, we got a lot. Like I know this when it comes to, especially jazz. Well, back in the day, because jazz was such a big thing. South Africa has so many people that we looked up to when it came to that. You know, we had Miriam Makeba, we had, you know, your Hugh Masekela, a lot of names, you know, would come to mind, like Jonathan Butler and a few others. I will own him because he's ours, even though he's there, but he's ours.
Jonathan Butler, yes. Represent South Africa. He's not a relative of mine, but I love me some Jonathan Butler.
Yeah, shout out to John Butler, man. Yeah, definitely.
That makes sense too. He's like, to me, he reminds me of he's like the South African George Benson.
Yeah.
They have, I think he's very much influenced by George Benson as well.
Yeah. So there's a few others. I mean, even with even like talking about hip hop and like how when hip hop hit Africa, Africans made it their own in their own way. With the infusions, you can hear it now, like how some, you know, Nigerian cats sound, and how I know I linked up now with this guy from Malawi, a hip hop artist from Malawi that has such a different, unique sound. And I'm like, where did you know, come up from? Like, where did this come from? I can hear it's hip hop. Like I can hear the lyrics, but I'm like, the sound, you know, music, the flow of this. I'm like, oh, you could like really dance to this, you know. Like there's so much uniqueness when it comes to music. The same way when people were separated, they had to come up with their own way of, like, the same way I feel like when music hit different shores, it kind of birthed its own sounds within sounds.
I'm sorry, man. Like, thinking of being a funny dude, man. Like, also Seyu George, man. Shout out to Seyu George. For those who don't know, he's a Brazilian artist. He was actually in that movie City of God. Like, for those who watch City of God, he played Knockout Ned on City of God. Like, but he's one hell of a dope artist, Seyu George. You know what I'm saying? He's a Brazilian soul artist. You know what I'm saying? Brazilian R&B soul artist. You know, like I said, for some reason after City of God and City of Men, that those two movies, I've been more I've been more interested in listening to more Brazilian music, and I hear the African backgrounds of it, like the drums and the that sound. Like I
if
can't
you
do
like
the actual
Brazilian
sound.
music, you'll enjoy a lot of Mozambique music as well.
Oh yeah, shout out to Luki, by the way. Yeah, Luki, she's a Mozambique artist. She's on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Luki. She has a single called what is it? Bash. I'm not even gonna fuck the name up. But I know it's on all streaming platforms and shit.
Yeah, he said make that sound again.
Yo, chicken and beef. Yo, watch the playback. Yo, you get all that sound you want, B. I'm not doing that, man.
Speaking of that, which I think is really dope.
That sounded like it was going left, but go ahead.
And I just wanted to add to a lot of this too, is a lot of the misconceptions of the different languages that are spoken all over the place. Some folks don't know about, literally in some parts in Africa, like English is still actually the national language that's spoken within the country. And in other places, some of them are French. I was surprised to find out that Arabic is a very largely spoken language within just Africa, or I like to say Akibulan, which is the historical name of Africa that's spoken there.
Also in Mozambique, speaking of Mozambique, they speak Portuguese. Because like she spoke Portuguese. I think, like I said, what's the fucking name of that song? Fage. I'm not even gonna do that shit, man. I swear. I'm like, now that shit gonna get in my mind. I'm gonna try to say it. I'm gonna try to say it before we get off. I'm gonna try to say the motherfucking name of the shit, but I think it's called in translation is it's parts of me or something like that. But the song, what? That's what the song is called.
You're good. No, you're good. You're good, Lyrics. I just looked down and saw this comment. That's what I saw.
Wow.
I had a feeling this is going to continue. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, of course.
Yo, shout out to Chicken and Beef TV, man. We needed them laughs.
We can't have a serious conversation. We cannot.
No, because you gotta avoid looking at the comments.
We cannot get through this music section.
No, we cannot. We gonna do a few more. There's a few more between all of this, and then after that, do a final thoughts. And honestly, we still again barely scratched the surface on a lot of this, but let's continue. But go ahead and continue. I know you're trying to remember what it is, Lyrics, but if you do, throw it in there. I know Steph, you have something. Kim, did you have anything else you wanted to add to the music? Or
hold on, Faj Marte de Meme. I think that's what it's called. Faj Marte de Meme. I think that's what it is. It's parts of me.
You know what the problem is, right? You know what the problem is, especially with I've realized it's not a problem, but it is a problem. You know, when you guys are trying to pronounce something in a different language, you're pronouncing it in your tone. When you're speaking in a different language, you have to use a different tone. Like when I say, when I speak in Zulu, for example, I know my tone of voice changes. Like if I'm saying Bunjani Nonke, it's different to how's everyone. You know, it's very different because I can't be going out to areas like Alexandra, which is an informal settlement. I mean, Sambonani Nonke, they'll laugh at me. You know. They'll laugh at me.
It's
I know a lot of people do this, especially and it's not a racial thing, but especially white people. You know, they do this in South Africa. I'm like, whoa, wait.
Habari Kandi.
Yo, wow, Kimberly, wow.
No, but look, she's real. No, she's real about that. Because I mean, that's one thing I picked up very quickly too with speaking different languages is it's very tonal. Especially when I was learning how to speak Italian versus Spanish, and then also I'm getting into Swahili. I see it's a tonal thing, so then I follow it. Even though there's cartoons, of course, Family Guy and other places that make fun of some of these language, these tones, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong about that because literally it's a flow. It's a flow of how you pronounce it. I'm just not gonna go over there just saying, arrivederci instead of arrivederci. You literally put the tone to it together.
Well, I don't put the tone to shit. I'm just gonna fuck the shit up. I'm sorry. I'm just listen. If I say it like this, right? Me gusta arroz con pollo. I like chicken and rice. Me gusta arroz con pollo. That's it. But you gotta roll the R. You gotta roll the R with arroz. Arroz. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this because I'm a fat motherfucker too, because it's chicken and rice. So you know what I'm saying?
Another thing about Spanish too that a lot of people don't know. When you pronounce certain words, you have to put emphasis on the penultimate syllable, which is the second to the last syllable.
Yeah.
So you put unless there's the little
Enye, or the accent or anything on top of that.
Yeah, unless there's the accent there, you always put emphasis on the second to last syllable.
And this is why I failed Spanish. Because I'm not, like, listen, I'm putting the emphasis on, but I'm going to try my best to respect the the lines of the emphases and shit. But yeah, the emphasis, I said that. The emphasis and shit. But for the most part, y'all know I'm going to fuck the word up. I'm telling you, listen, forgive me for fucking this word up. I'm still trying, all right? Like,
but that's the
you
thing,
know what I mean?
right?
Yeah.
This is the thing, even speaking about languages, and I'm going to run away with saying this, but even with languages, we were forced to learn Afrikaans as a second language or isiZulu, if you could. Now, I could speak isiZulu, but then I was like, guys, to actually do this as a subject, I'll pass. You know, so I was like, okay, let's go do the Afrikaans thing. And I was stupid to go and choose the Afrikaans thing, but also I was trained to choose the Afrikaans thing because it was the only other second language we were taught to kind of read-ish and write in from primary school. But not like my kids. My kids now, they are taught both English, Afrikaans, and isiZulu, obviously, and English is a first language. But they have that option when they get to high school or university or whatever the case is, then they could decide if they want to add more on with their Zulu or Afrikaans, whatever the case is. But I wasn't given that option. You know, so when it came to high school, it was just like, okay, you're doing Afrikaans. And I didn't like that language because I was like, this was the colonizers' language. I'm not gonna do this. This is you know,
Wow.
I'm not that. And even up to now, as I say, like most colored people, because most colored or mixed race people are said to be from Cape Town, we're not all from Cape Town, speak Afrikaans as a first language. I don't. And I've had people come up to me speaking, because they assume because of how I look, they're like, automatically they come up to me and start speaking in Afrikaans, and I'll hold the conversation in English on my part. They'll continue in Afrikaans until I don't understand what they're saying anymore, and then I tell them that I don't understand what you're saying, and then they can say, "Hey, we know you not from here."
So in other words, you don't fuck with you don't fuck with them colonizing motherfuckers or whatever, the colonizer language.
There's a lot of things. There's other things I don't do. I don't say. I don't buy. Places I don't go because of because of that mentality that's still around, especially in Johannesburg.
Johannesburg. He's not Dominican, man. Like, yo, you wildin', my nigga. Like, yo, son, like, yo, chicken and beef, like, yo, we appreciate your wildin' though. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you wildin'. Like, yo, son, like, yo, like, I thought you was Dominican. No, she's South African, man. Like, she's South African shit. You should know this. How long you been here, B? Like,
True.
Like, yo, come on, man, you wildin'.
And when she spoke another language, nothing that she said sounded like Spanish at all. But
no, but keep wildin' though. We love that.
Nothing.
Keep wildin'. Like, yo. She don't fuck with them colonizing niggas though, man. But otherwise than that, though, you know what I mean?
No issue with learning other languages, but my main issue was the whole thing around Afrikaans and how it was forced upon people, especially out here when white people decided that they were going back to their countries, Europeans, so forth, so on and so forth, and some that decided they're going to stay here because they saw that the land was. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you can take the rest of the black people from here, but then we staying. And when they stayed here, they fought for land on here. So there's so many wars that are still not really spoken about. Like as much as we know about some of the Anglo wars that happened here between the Zulus and, the Afrikaners and what. But they're so watered down. Some of them they told so nicely, but they're not in our history books. And a lot of us were created because of rape. We were brought on because of rape, and a lot of mixed race kids were killed, which is something that's not in there as well, because they and trace their steps. It's like, oh, we're looking for all the mixed race babies, and we're gonna, we want to remove any of our bloodline that's left behind, but all those stories are not told. Whereas when slaves were taken to other countries, and some of those stories came out, the German babies came out, the Afro-German babies came out, the ones made during World War the World War came out, they spoke. You know, you're half Japanese, you're half. So many different kids came out and they spoke about it, but not Africa. Africa's history is so watered down, and it's funny because we're coming in a group with some people with very, very strong EDOS beliefs. I should have not found myself in this group because I was attacked for being African. And it was very uncomfortable, just very uncomfortable, because the hatred that they have for Africans, and we understand the history is bad because yes, some African people sold African people. We know. Even up to now,
I heard about that.
will sabotage us in the workspace. I don't know why. Don't understand other people's mindsets, but that's just how they are. You know,
Kimberly,
and they.
Can I just say something on the other end here in the U.S., it's disheartening, especially like in New Jersey. There's a very large, I think it's Nigerian population, especially in Newark. A lot of them work as cab drivers, and it's very disheartening. They work in other transportation areas, but it's very disheartening when I have an encounter with one of them, and and I get that reverse racism, and it's like, wow, I really didn't do anything, but just because I feel like when they see my skin and they see that I'm American, I'm a Black American, it's almost like it triggers them. It's I didn't even say anything to incite you, but the very like fact that I'm here and I'm like in the I don't know what it is, but it's very triggering for a lot of, and I would like to personally understand what that is all about. Like why is there such a disdain for like Blacks here in this country?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a conversation with a taxi driver that happened to be from West Africa, and he actually explained it. Hopefully this will help you out, Steph, with your situation. I'm gonna be honest with you. He said it plain and simple. He said in certain parts of Africa they think they're greater than us. You know what I'm saying? Because of our ancestors getting caught up in slavery, getting caught and sold or whatever. We weren't strong enough to fight off, our capturers or whatever, and like we just grown up and this is the explanation that I got.
I get that, but did you question like, so if I were like there in that conversation, like I would be questioning him, like, does that even make sense to you? Like, does that even make sense? I am not a slave or an enslaved African. I didn't have to fight off any. That has nothing to do with me. But
that's true though. It's very true, and it is a very important thing to ask, because I know a very good poet, friend of mine. She's like an older sister. She's out there as well, and when her and I spoke, she said, will they accept me? Would they accept me as a sister? Would they accept me as a daughter? And I'm like, where I'm from, my small town, you would get accepted with open arms. If I had to take you to my small town, I'll take you into my mom's house. If I had to take you through my town, people would be rushing around. Oh, your accent sounds different. Where are you from? You'd be welcomed with open arms. I can't speak for the rest of Africa. That's the thing, is how they were brought up and the mindset that they were brought up in. We were taught to embrace everyone. Another good friend of mine, his name is Taye Uhuru. He's come out here so many times, and he has visited my hometown. And when we spoke about it, he's like, they were so welcoming. He's like, if you come here, you'll get welcomed with open arms, and we had a good conversation where we spoke about those type of things as well, and asking him, what was your experience like? Because I want to know what's your experience like. It's different if I'm just telling you and be like, no, you can come. Yeah, but at the same time, somebody that's from there has to come here, experience it, and then they can tell you what the experience is like. But there's still so much hate that Africans for Africans. I mean, at the moment, there's still so much in South Africa. There's so many fights going on with Nigerian nationals and Congolese nationals and this and that. And they're like, yeah, you go back to your place. You go back to your country. You go back to, we're all part of the same African continent. We've all gone through the same struggles. So the main conception and the main problem that happened is we bought the lie of a great America, the American dream. I remember having this talk with someone. I was like, we bought the American dream. Some of us that ran away and went to America. You know, there's no American dream. I'm sorry.
There's no motherfucking American dream. They done sold you a bunch of bullshit. I know that much. American bullshit.
Yeah, you know, when we look at the television and you switch our TV, America's just, wow, I want to go there. And I'm like, yeah, every place is beautiful. Africa is also just as beautiful. But at the same time, there are so many of us within Africa and how the media has spun them with this table of yummy, delicious goods that's like, oh, America is the place to be. The UK is the place to be. Why?
Right.
Because it was built off the backs of slavery. And I think I'm going to run away with it.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Like for anybody in Africa that's listening, you come to America, man. Yo, we gonna show you love. You know what I'm saying, man? Like we'll definitely show you love. We'll take you to the corner store or at least to the chopped cheese spot.
Jeez, I knew it.
You got on the chopped cheese, man. You need to have this chopped cheese when you come to America.
You know what?
No, stop. No.
Stop.
No.
Stop it.
No,
you
stop.
Kim. Thank you. Enough of the chopped cheese.
Thank you, Kim.
No, they have no chopped cheese. Fuck out of here.
You want something that's really black? You want something that's really black? Come to DC. We'll give you some chicken and mumbo sauce. All right.
And then you come to York and we got you a chopped cheese. Fuck out of here. So like you always trying to
chicken and mumbo sauce is good.
What? Oh yeah, the mumbo sauce.
I don't know what to do with you, son.
Yes, mumbo sauce is good. Like no lie, that sounds really good. I don't know about the chopped cheese like that. Okay. I gotta see
my feelings. All right, whatever.
I'm gonna probably go and like check it out on YouTube or something before I go to bed now. Because you got that.
You gotta check chopped cheese on YouTube. I thought we was cool, man. Like I thought, yo, Kimberly, I thought we was like right here, man. I thought man, go ahead. Man.
See, chicken and beef. There you go. See, he knows. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this real quick because we didn't really get into it, but here in the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, and Virginia, that's what we call it. We have a genre of music that they just actually made an official, official genre of music for Washington DC. We here call it go-go. It was, created by the late great Chuck Brown. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chuck Brown.
He's actually from St. Louis. However, the sound was created here in DC. Which is very rich in like Black history and culture. We have Marvin Gaye, we have Duke Ellington, from here, Dave Chappelle. Like we can go down the line of so many people that were born and raised here. But I say all that to say, like, go-go is, I think, one of the most, how do I put this? it's when you hear it, you can hear the African roots involved.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, her phone was dying. She said her phone was about to die. So yeah, it was fun having you here, Kimberly. I'm sorry, man. But yo, you will try this chopped cheese when you come to New York, man. Like, yeah, you got to, man. Come on, man. Steph was on some bullshit right there, man.
No,
Come get the chicken and mambo sauce. No, don't get me wrong. The chicken and mambo sauce is banging, son. Like, yo, that mambo sauce is where it is. Yo, shout out to DMV, chicken and mambo sauce with the rice. We in there. But when you come to New York,
rice.
Yo, they got rice on the side. Like, yo, stop playing.
Rice on the side?
They got mambo sauce on the rice. How you gonna tell me?
No, that's not how you eat chicken and mambo sauce. What are you doing?
Order. Eric, come back in. come back in, Eric, because we about to give our
Now you
final
want to try to play
thoughts.
me, man. All right,
Eric,
man.
we're gonna give our final thoughts, Eric. So come back up in here, and then we gonna finish. Because if not, this gonna continue on, and it's gonna go into a cycle of talking about chopped cheese and then all this other different stuff. We gotta get about.
Mandy, I'm gonna cook you some seafood, okay? I'm gonna cook you some seafood Maryland style, okay? Is that?
You know what? Yo,
that what you wanted to hear?
Mandela Loca. I gotta say this. I gotta say this, and I'm gonna speak up for Steph. There's one instance I'm gonna speak up for Steph. I'm gonna speak up for Steph when I say, yo, she can throw down on some seafood. Be like, yo, like Steph, I'm giving you your flowers while you can smell them. I'm still gonna hate though, but I'm giving you flowers, man. All right, cool.
She's trying to play me right here, kid. She's trying to play me.
Okay.
I'm cooking the seafood. I'm doing
Yes,
the
Eric,
crab
do it.
cakes.
Do it, Eric.
I'm doing the shrimp.
No, I missed out a lot. All I heard was mumbo sauce chicken, and then it cut off, and then next thing I know, Kimberly was out of the show. What happened?
Oh,
Yo,
okay. I will say
She had to. Kim had to
That's a
go,
bet.
but her phone was dying.
That's a bet.
Oh, no, I missed like that whole chunk.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? Steph is talking to one of her lady friends.
Hey now.
What?
No.
Hey, now what? I didn't. What?
No,
what?
me
I'm
and
asking.
Fan that came to say hello. It's just a fan.
Oh, it's a fan. Okay,
No,
I'm asking because
number one
Steph
fan, number
always
one
trying to Steph always trying to serenade somebody. That's what I'm asking.
Hey, come on, man.
Anyway, guys, final thoughts.
My
Let's get
number
into
one
it,
fan.
man. Let's get into it. What the fuck? Yo, what's going on with the camera, bro? What's going on?
It wants to commit suicide. It's trying to commit suicide. It's trying to commit suicide.
Yo, that went through a whole cycle machine. It looked like
Mandy,
you was
more
in
than
the
a fan, you
freaking.
know that.
Oh,
I said
Yo.
number one fan.
Well, what happened? What's Steph talking about still?
we need to.
I thought we got over that.
We over here trying to connect it, and we talking about the diaspora, and we over here talking about number fans and stuff. All right,
And then you doing
and chopped
stunts
cheese.
over here. I don't know what's happening.
Yo, I'm about theatrics, man. I'm talking about razzle dazzle, weird camera angles. That's what I do, man. Come on, you gotta get used to it.
all right.
Get on the same page.
Like Lyric
No,
said,
we need to get on the same
Like
page.
Lyric
Get on this page, motherfucker. Like, you gonna sit there, man. Yo, you better get your camera in order. Like, you talking to say, but what?
You better eat some other food other than chopped cheese, man. You eat something else in your diet.
What? No, I hear you. Yo, you sound like you was underwater. What happened now?
Oh, you? Let me get out of the water and say again. Eat something other than chopped cheese. I'll enunciate.
I do. It's called curry
Eat some
shrimp.
greens.
It's called curry shrimp with some rice and peas. Fuck out of here. So like, yo, that shit was banging. By the way.
Was it on a sandwich?
No, it's Jamaican food. See, you don't even know that. Curry shrimp.
I know it's on Jamaican. I said it wasn't. Did you eat on? I said, did you eat it on a sandwich? That's what I asked you.
No, I don't want to eat it on the motherfucking sandwich. How you eat that on a sandwich, man? No, you eat that with some roti.
Cocoa bread.
That's
Cocoa bread. You can put on cocoa bread.
I got your cocoa
right.
bread.
Yo, before Note starts some stuff, y'all. Let's go. Final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Oh, Notes is coming on?
We got 6 minutes. We got 6 minutes.
Notes is coming on?
Final
Wait,
thoughts.
Benny,
All right.
Benny, you a character, man. Like, yo, you a funny. She says he eats that organic chopped cheese.
Oh my goodness. See, I knew he said, let me jump. No. All right, look at final thoughts, Steph. Go.
Yo, go, Seth.
Oh my god. Oh man. While Mandy is giving me grief down here. Man, I you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I love being black. I love being part of the diaspora. I love the diversity of our cultures. Like, I love the diversity of my friends that are part of the diaspora, you know, like Eric here. We always have talks about culture and, you know, where we come from. And I love exchanging and sharing thoughts and ideas with my guy right here. Aviz, of course, like we have our talks as well. You know, when we get together, and, you know, lyrics, we talk about more than chopped cheese. But I say all that to say, you know, I think, again, I really feel like that more of us need to come together and realize that we're stronger as a unit than we are, divided and separated. And we really need to embrace our differences and also understand the similarities within our cultures, and we need to understand why we are a diaspora, and we need to, embrace it. We need more people to embrace it. We need this unit to be stronger. And I'm gonna end it with, it takes a nation of millions to hold us back.
That's a fact. Yo, chicken and beef said,
that's true. That's true.
Yo, I hate you.
That's
yo, I'm done. I'm done. Yo, son, what the bomba cat fuck y'all doing? Damn straight Wakanda forever. Like, yo, this guy. Yo, Notes, we can't let you in right now, man, because we wrapping it up right now with the final thoughts, man.
Right.
Yo,
Eric, you your final thoughts?
Wakanda forever.
My final thoughts on what? I wasn't even in the conversation.
But
fucking right here, man. All right, man. Like,
but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there's a diaspora. That's my final thought. There is one. All right, continue.
It is.
All right.
Support black business. All right, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. My final thoughts. And I agree.
Sorry, Notes.
Yeah, my soul is hurt. Bro, you came in like the last 5 minutes, bro. But again, we'll talk to you after, G. But my final thoughts with the whole idea of the differences and the commonalities in the African Black diaspora, which again, shouts out to Kim and to all of us just bouncing ideas back and forth. It's really that opening and creating into that bridge to really figure out, where everyone is coming at when it comes to not only our thoughts, our feelings, the culture, the music, but being able to notice those differences and those commonalities and look towards, like Steph said, really trying to unify and, open each other and help each other come together, whether if it's opening other arms and coming and exposing all these differences and stuff in nature. As well as I wanna quote and shout out Dr. Amos Wilson. Yes, I'm doing some more books, but there's a book that he has. It's called The Falsification of the African Consciousness. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, but we didn't get to in this particular case, was about, of course, the mental. We was about to get to it, but we didn't. And one thing I wanted to add from him was saying about this whole idea of the social amnesia. And I know that's something that's really broken down all of this. That's why we're trying to figure out where we may be from, what we're connected, where our roots and things are coming from. And I feel that we've been hit with this social amnesia that it makes it hard to be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that, to where we're just trying to only identify as that and not as a whole. But with that, that's my final thoughts, is figuring out the differences and commonalities and figure out where we could come to create a whole.
Okay, I'll finish it off with this, man. My final thought. This I ain't got no slick shit to say or whatever. I'm just gonna say everything from the heart right now. Like, Steph, I love you to death. I was gonna say some slick shit, but I was like, fuck it. No. All jokes aside, Steph, love you to death. You already know how that go. I thank you and I appreciate you for, letting us know that your uncle is W.C. Handy, which I think that's a lie until you.
What have I ever lied about? What have you ever known me to lie about? Exactly.
I'm giving you that. Are you serious, Steph? Face.
What have I lied about? What have I lied about? Let's hear it.
I'm thinking. I'll get back to you later on that.
You can't think of anything.
But for real though, man. Yo, add Steph, it's all love. You already know, man. Ramos is all love, man. I feel like this, love transcends all, but right now in the African American community, this is a very touching subject. You know what I'm saying? Once I found out what the African diaspora it is, and I mean, it's touching for me, you know what I'm saying? Because like certain things I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Until this episode. And yo, Kimberly, much love, yo. Thank you very much for coming in and sharing your thoughts and all that. Thank you very much.
It's nice to have that perspective and that insight, especially from a South African point of view.
That's a fact. Like, you just took the words out of my mouth, Steph. Like that's exactly how I felt. You know what I'm saying? It was a refreshing, definitely a refreshing, aspect of that. Like, just to know that, we're not the only ones that's suffering as as African people, as Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what I mean by suffering, like, we suffering with racism, amongst our own. You know what I'm saying? Hate amongst our own. You know what I'm saying? It's to a point where, we'll definitely be talking about this on an upcoming episode that me and Ad did already that we're gonna redo. What is it? Being pro-Black while dating outside your race. We're gonna be doing a reloaded episode sooner or later. So like, I'm definitely gonna be going in on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I have some very strong feelings about that. And just want to let you know, Ramos, you are Black. All right. So just wanted to let you know that.
I thought it was a vampire.
No,
vampires don't have no race.
Right. Well, you're a Black vampire. Fuck it. I just want to let you know.
So Eddie Murphy? Blade. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I thought you were calling me Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he Blade.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
He's part of the diaspora too. So
everything's part of the diaspora. He's been a part of the diaspora. Yo, Famous Ramos been. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, stop playing.
Yeah.
No, but this has been a very fun, educational, kind of emotional show. You know what I'm saying? I just want to let everybody know, man. Like, whoever's watching this, thank you very much for watching this. It is definitely all love. I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious when I say this. Like, it is all love, man. And this is the reason why this show exists, man. So we can go ahead and touch these topics. Hopefully one day, us as a people can learn how to, have love and mutual respect for each other, no matter where we come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, who we are, where we come from. And that's the main point of having these conversations, so we can understand each other. You know what I'm saying? Because racism is more than just black and white. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, it's within our own community. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have you have Africans being racist towards African Americans. You have African Americans being racist towards their own. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm beating a dead horse with a stick here, but even when it comes to certain African American females dating outside their race, they be like, "Oh, I'm tired of black men, niggas this, niggas that. I'm just gonna go ahead and try a white man because I can't find any good black men." That's pretty fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I don't live your life. You know what I'm saying? So, and I touch from that topic because this is what I see and this is what I hear. You know what I'm saying? So, Advis, a special thank you to you for hosting this, and a special thank you for the idea of this. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, it really touched from a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't say nothing like this, I swear I would still have the same pig-headed thought about African Americans, and like I still will be blind towards certain things that happen outside of our realm as African Americans. You know what I'm saying? So you really did touch on something. I think somewhere down the line we will continue this conversation. Sorry notes, we're not doing a open forum today. We probably won't continue that shit till like season 3. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So more details to come on that. But this Patreon wraps up this episode. What?
Nah, I don't think it's time yet, but but we'll say
Patreon.
We're doing something very special with open forum. When season 3 comes up, we'll let you know. We'll give you more details.
Yeah, more details to come on that. But let's see. We actually had a comment here from Chicken and Beef. Y'all got Africans being racist to Africans, like Shortly said.
Like Shorty.
Like, like Shorty said. My fault, man. I said Shortly. It's like Shorty said. Yeah.
You need my
glasses?
No,
it's true.
I think you need my glasses. Go ahead, take it.
Yeah, Stephanie X. Like, go ahead, man. Get out of here. Yeah, Malcolm's very proud of you. Like, yeah, all right, man, go somewhere. Nah, but you know what?
I'm sure he is.
Hey, yo, Steph, man, you know it's all love, man. You know it's all love, man.
I know, I love you too.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. I got soft and mushy and shit. Pause in this episode. I had to say pause to that. But anyway, yo, this wraps up another episode of Random Thoughts. Tune in next Sunday where, oh my goodness, we are going to have another Wash Your Ass episode. Episode 2-15 will be Wash Your Ass Part 3 for women. Yes, Wash Your Ass Part 3 for women.
What's Part 4?
There probably won't be a Part 4. I don't know. But it's going to soft like chopped cheese. Wow.
Let's go.
What?
He said soft like chopped cheese. But anyway, listen, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. We do appreciate you. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? Tune in next week. The promo will be coming up soon. Like I said, it's episode 2-15, Wash Your Ass Part 3 for women. And we will have a special. We will have definitely a special ass washing tutorial by none other than Stephanie Gale.
What?
I don't know how this is gonna work.
I think that's how the fuck is gonna work. If you want to get a diaphragm to teach a woman how to properly wash that ass, then you gonna do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll talk about it. Fuck it. But guess what? I'm not gonna talk about it now. But I'm going to light y'all asses up. I'm sorry. Like, I got to do it. I got to do it. I did it to the men. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I did to the men. Hey, I'm sorry, females. I love you. But I also love for you to take showers.
No, he doesn't.
No, I do. But I got to be fair. So, listen, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. For Famos Ramos, Adviz, a special guest host, and also for Stephanie Gale, this is the LYR to the RCS lyrics. Signing off, y'all. Peace.
Warning.
Peace.
The opinions expressed in this program
y'all.
are
Welcome
those
to another
of the
episode of Random
current
Thoughts.
state of
I'm
mind,
sorry, females.
which they have the right to change
I also love
at
when
any
we take
given
shows.
moment. The iRant Network and the members of the Ranters Union are not responsible for any claims made. All opinions and train of thoughts are welcomed here and protected by the First Amendment and the Ranters Union. All commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, teaching, and or scholarship of copyrighted material is protected by the Fair Use Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. iRant Network and the founder of the Ranters Union, Jalogic, aka Mr. M, recommends that you take what is said and do your own research. Read a goddamn book and form your own opinion. Furthermore, listen carefully to the ranters rant and debate their opinions and form your own conclusion. Thank you for watching this member-supported program, powered by the Ranters Union and produced for the iRant Network. Good day.